Hello, everybody. I am Nat Bennett. Joining me here is Jesse Alford,
Hello.
and we are going to spend some time getting Jesse's Vim config set up because he's been using Luan's Vim for a long time, and it's broken, and Luan's Vim is no longer taking patches for every use case under the sun because Luan doesn't do that shit anymore.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, so now Jesse needs to build his own lightsaber. So yeah, do you want to share your screen and well, actually, let's talk about what we're trying to do here. What do you need from your Vim config?
Luan's Vim did a ton of things. I probably don't need most of them, but I'm conscious of not knowing which things that I think are like I don't know what's part of Vim and what's part of Neovim and what's part of the config. I mostly used Vim without configuration pretty successfully on servers and things, but in those cases, I'm not reaching for either of the two workflows that it really bothers me to not have what I need, which is programming mostly in Go, where I really need the ability to jump to definitions and things, and writing mostly in Markdown, where I have a bunch of input preferences that it's really frustrating to me when they're not respected. Soft wrapping, line numbers, how the cursor moves, that kind of thing. I also have a couple of key bindings that I really rely on. One is saving when I hit enter in command mode. I forget to do, colon W. I forget to write if I don't have that. And it creates, I'm like, why isn't this passing? Does this test even do anything? Because I'll change it and it can pass, the behavior won't change because I didn't save the file. So, those most of those things I either know what's going on in Luan Vim or have already failed to fix in Luan's Vim at some point in the past. Luan's Vim stopped working. I got rid of it. I've been working on just raw Neovim, and it's fine, right? It's like it's okay, but I would love to have these things back, and I would love to not feel like I'm blocked at making these improvements. I would like to be able to iterate on it when I notice something that I don't like and just go quickly be like, oh, I know where to fix that.
Yeah, and like we've been talking about doing this because I went through this journey a couple months ago when I was setting up this workstation. I just was like, it's time for me to just set up a Vim config. So I've done
Yeah,
that kind of recently.
it's interesting. I've been on teams that use their own config or that have previously split off from Luan's Vim and been like, we don't need almost all of this. We just need these things, and been happy with those configs. I know that they can work, but it's also just really easy for me to keep using this thing that like installs cleanly.
Right.
Honestly, the
Yeah.
main thing that has kept me on Luan's Vim is that I know how to set it up consistently. And now that that's gone, it's basically, I need that back.
Yeah. So let's take a look at, we're going to get to your terminal in a minute, but I want to take a look at GitHub real quick, just so we can show what it is that we're talking about when we talk about Luan's Vim. So I assume that if you're
Hmm.
watching this, you are watching it because you also have this problem, and therefore you know what Luan's Vim is, but it's possible that you don't. And Luan's Vim was this is still a configuration that a lot of people at Cloud Foundry use to when Luan, who maintains it, hi Luan, Luan Santos, worked on Cloud Foundry. But Luan hasn't worked there for years. And recently was just like, I am not able to maintain this for general purpose editing anymore. I'm going to make it more streamlined and more customized to my stuff. Um, so this is Luan Vim. This is what we're talking about is GitHub/Luan/nvim.
Yeah, and like just follow that V1 branch.
Yeah. So is this the branch that you were using before?
Well, I was on main, and then
Okay, you are main.
he
Right, but
created a
it's yeah,
V1 branch, but
yeah.
like the deprecation on main is a longer notice, and you can see a little bit more about the
Yeah.
structure of it. And there's a tag on the branch that is before all the deprecation changes,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the first thing that I did was go and try and go back to that and just like see if I can live in the past for a while longer,
Okay.
right? I'm a software engineer. I never upgrade.
Right, sure.
Um, but it didn't work for reasons. Uh, and reasons on things I don't care about, right? This is part of the problem with the package deal
Sure.
like Luan's Vim. So, yeah.
How can I just want to see this version of it. I want to see all browse files. Here we go. Okay, so here we are. All right, so you're already used to using something that's using init.lua, which is great. So that's probably where we want to start is basically, so you're used to installing it this way, git clone Luan nvim into config nvim.
Yep.
Okay, great. That makes this pretty simple. There
And I've
used to be more
deleted that
craziness.
and uninstalled and reinstalled Neovim using brew, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Okay. So, but what we want basically is to get this nvim init.lua and probably have something that's simpler here. But we can basically copy luanvim's basic choices around like what plugin manager it's using, and we'll probably be copying some of the specific plugins that it uses. Just because that makes life simpler. I've been doing a bunch of research into what plugin manager to use and like what the differences are between them. And honestly, if you're not using a gigantic pile of plugins, there's not really differences. I mean, there are differences, but they don't matter. Like the differences between plugins start to matter between plugin managers start to matter when you really need features like lazy loading because you've got so many plugins. So where I'm at is just like, let's just use what folks are already using. So let's actually switch over to your workstation now.
Yeah.
To stop my share, we can open up your terminal.
Well, it says that the host has disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, that was a foolish thing for the host to do. Um, the host should probably set that setting universally now, but that should be enabled for this session.
Ah,
Okay,
okay.
fabulous.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first
I'm driving, you're navigating. What are we going to do?
yeah, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make in home config nvim, we're going to need a file called init.lua, though I guess I should ask first, like, do you have a workstation setup script that you want to like commit this in and copy this in from?
Not let's not wrap that in right now.
Okay,
It's always really easy to move that to such a repo and like let's do this as a Git repo
okay,
with no remote right now, and then I can wrap the whole management later
great,
because
perfect.
I generally like to symlink this type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but anyway,
Yeah, I hate
so
symlinking it because I don't trust symlinks, but you know, your way is correct. Your way is objectively correct. Um,
I'll take that for what it seems to be worth. So you said this directory needs to be called nvim?
yeah. And that this directory might exist already.
No, I
No,
deleted it.
okay. All right, all right. Yeah, and so in here we're gonna want a file called init.lua.
Oh no.
Oh
I
no, it's
haven't
using
done this in a
master as the
while.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
haven't.
gotta fix this.
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna.
Oh, we're getting a little bit of Git content in here too.
Okay, and then I'm gonna do the right way to. Oh, it looks like you can just change it. Okay, I was about to blow that whole repo away and start over,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
it gave me a good command to.
Oh, you're still on the master? Oh no, here we are. Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Cool.
right.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, so. Uh,
Thanks again for nothing, database people, for ruining master for everyone.
oh, there's like a dash dash allow empty. Okay, great. We've got an initial empty commit to be a good solid base to start this
Yeah,
from.
we don't need
And
a
what do we need?
manifesto.md file.
We can. That'll be a good touch later, or a
Okay,
good test later.
great. Yeah, okay. Jesse believes that every repository needs a README and a manifesto. Um,
Okay. Now we have 2 commits already. We're doing great.
Amazing. Okay, so now we need a file called init.lua. And we're doing this because we're in Neovim, and so we can start from a Lua scripting environment. Though this is the part where, like, yeah, I'm gonna maybe end up not knowing stuff. Because it occurs to me that some of the things we're gonna start with doing are going to be Vim script, but that's fine. Okay, yeah, so we've got an init.lua file. So that's going to be loaded now anytime you start nvim. That should just automatically pick that up. I don't know how to test that this is getting... Oh, well, okay, we can test actually the first thing.
I have an idea.
Yeah. Sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This should produce an error, right? If it's being loaded.
Yep, there it
Oh,
is.
yeah, we don't like it.
Yeah, great. Huh. Great. Nice work.
Thank you.
Okay, right. So we're loading that init.lua file. So let's also
Have I
make
just broken my editor? Oh, good. It recovers nicely from this file being. It just ignores it.
Garbage. Yeah. We maybe should make a list at this point of the stuff, maybe even in the init.lua as like comments.
What's this? Do you know the comment? Is there a multi-line comment syntax for Lua?
Let me look that up. I can see the single line syntax, multi-line comment syntax. Lua. Comment starts with a double hyphen, and you can comment out a full block of code by surrounding it with -- open brace and -- close brace, but like double braces.
That sounds pretty good. Let me see if I understood what you were saying right. So we're going to come in here, and this is a single line comment.
Yep.
That should be hyphenated. And then, oh, good. Vim already knows how to keep that comment going. So I actually don't care about the multi-line syntax.
Oh, great.
Because it's automatically adding
Yeah.
the syntax at the beginning of the lines. Thanks, Neovim. Like I was saying, Neovim by default does a fair amount of things, and this makes it hard for me to disentangle what I even need plugins for.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're getting back to our... Oh, good.
This is what I'm surprised by. I reported that it always had line numbers on. It clearly does not.
Yeah.
That was me hallucinating because of how rapidly I turned them on every time I opened the thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting back to our pairing roots here, though. We're writing a language that neither of us knows. You remember that time we spent like a week writing? What was it? Fucking Scala. Yeah, good times.
For Gatling.
Good times.
Configuration in Scala.
Right?
For a load testing.
Yeah, and we both like barely knew how to program, period. Amazing. Yeah, so one of the first things that we're going to want to do then probably, is there any case where you don't just want set number?
Not that I can think of right now.
Yeah, so
I would the only time I want numbers to not be there is when I'm doing some hijinks with the paste, the cutting and the pasting, and I'll just turn it off in those cases. I want it on always. I like line numbers.
Nice.
I think they're important for pairing.
No, I agree. I agree with that. So what I'm doing right now, incidentally, over in the other screen, well, I mean, maybe I should just share the screen. Yeah. So I'm going to share like my actual screen so you can see what I'm doing, because that's
does that
helpful.
Mean I have to stop?
I don't think you do. It might make the video like wacky.
I'm gonna.
But
well, I don't know how to stop sharing. Oh, there it is. I found the button to stop sharing.
Yeah, let's share that screen. So I'm referring to a couple of things as we do this, but I'm referring to my own init Vim, but you'll notice it's init Vim. It's not init Lua. That's because I foolishly used Vim script when I set this up. which is simpler for this like most basic of cases.
Does it not just invoke both of them in an order? Like start with init Vim and then run init Lua, or
That's a good question. We probably could just do this with an init Vim. I mean, we could instead of init Lua.
well, so it sounds to me like it's meant to be 100% replacement, even if it's not there right now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
what I was thinking is, oh, maybe the basic configuration goes in the .vim and the advanced, but like if we can have just one of them, I'm
Right.
happy to do that until there's no need to create this extra thing or start making heuristics about which goes where.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
let's use Lua to turn on
Right.
numbers.
Yeah, so we know how to do set number in Vim script. It's just set number.
Yep.
Set this does this just
That's
work?
Seth.
It looks like maybe it just works. That's oh yeah, set, sure. Set Vim namespace. I'm just like wildly scrolling through this.
Oh, interesting. I see set no number
Oh.
executes an X command. So is
Oh.
that the right way to be doing this?
Yeah, there we are. That's the Vim API.
And
I
like
think that
again, I
is.
don't know. Okay, I'm happy to do this and change to a different way later.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Vim, and I assume that we can just start typing at the top of a Lua file. That we don't need to do anything to tell it like, "Hi, I'm a function. I'm gonna do a thing
Yeah.
now." We can just
Yep.
okay.
I think we can just do that. Yeah, so I'll stop
Great.
sharing and we can go
So
back to your side.
all right, you gotta keep an eye on that because I'm going to be asking you to remember that syntax because I am
Yep.
definitely not going to remember it. So
Yeah, don't worry
it
about
was
it.
like what Vim.api
Uh-huh.
dot
And Vim
now I've
underscore command.
and then it was like that.
Yeah. Yep.
So far,
Yep.
we found a great way to use a lot more characters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that! The numbers are still on.
Hey, there we go.
Was it like no number or whatever?
Right. With no dashes. Yeah. Well,
So
when would you ever do this?
VimScript is so
There it is.
stupid. Okay.
I know.
I'm just checking to make sure that it wasn't state, right? That it wasn't still on because I turned it on.
Yeah.
Though I'll mention, because this was something I didn't mention in my earlier list.
Mm-hmm.
Luan's Vim seemed to do better with a workflow where I quit and went back than default nvim does.
Huh.
Luan's Vim remembered my position within a file and some setting changes that I had made.
Okay.
And for undo, it had a session that went back further.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
assume that there is some kind of plugin or setting that was enabling session continuity when I was exiting and reloading rather than suspending Vim. Because sometimes I exit it, sometimes I minimize it, sometimes I make a new tab, sometimes I choose one and then I wish I'd done the other one. I really liked that feature too. So we can, if we make a list of things we want to make, which I think we should.
Yeah. Yeah.
That should go on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is actually, yeah, go ahead.
Well, actually, that's a good reminder.
Yeah, and now we've got an actually working. All right, we've improved your life substantially now over just a raw nvim configuration.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is actually, so just to explain a little bit, like one of the reasons that I wanted to do this with Jesse was that I don't know how to do like just a basic Vim configuration within init Lua, and I was hoping that we'd be able to learn that and then also share that with folks, because the research that I have done suggests that learning Lua really is worth it for, like, if you're going to learn more about how to configure your Vim setup, Lua is more generally purpose useful than learning Vim script. And for this kind of thing, Vim script is just simpler because it's just set number, right? Instead of vim.api.nvim commands. But I think in the long term, it's going to pay off to have spent a little bit of time learning Lua. And so I didn't want to write like a guide to configuring your Vim config for the first time that leaves like getting past the Lua hump entirely as an exercise to the reader.
I have added. Writing that commit message made me realize I wanted to add a comment here.
Mm-hmm.
What Is this accurate? Does this describe what that documentation we were reading said?
Yes, but it's EX and not X.
Is there a dash?
I think it's just capital EX and then a space.
Okay, all right.
I believe that that is a Vim term for
Yeah.
those commands that start with a colon.
And the main reason that I want a comment here isn't to remind myself what this does. I can puzzle that out.
Mm-hmm.
It's to get some words in here in case I forget what an EX command is or an X
Right.
command so that I can search for that type of Vim thing
Mm-hmm.
later when
Right.
I'm trying to be like, which type of Vim thing is this? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah, that's kind of reverse documentation almost. Like the the line of code is a lookup for the definition that's in the comment.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Huh. So do we have your list of stuff that you want?
Let's make it.
Yeah, let's make that list.
Yeah, I thought to do might auto highlight. See,
Snazzy.
there's other
Yeah.
features that are just like there.
Okay.
So the to-do list. I'm not going to bother trying to indent it or whatever. Oh, yep, I lied. I am going to do that. I'm going to write it as Markdown, it turns out.
Yep.
Oh, I wonder if I can...
That's why they call you Jesse Markdown Alvord.
Is that what they do? I wish they wouldn't. So... And I'm not going to put the things on here that are crossed off. I'm just going to delete them from the list as we get them done. So line numbers always. I just said that I wouldn't do what I just did, but I need it first because I'm going to write line numbers for Markdown. Now this is kind of a test list actually, because we made this manifesto earlier. Okay. I was a little worried that Markdown specific settings might override my line numbers. It didn't. I still have them. So I just wanted to do that briefly. And now I'm going to take them off my list. Okay. What else did I say that I wanted to be able to do? I want session history that survives quitting. I want GD, which that really looks like a couple of different censored or minced oaths
Yeah.
for go to definition in at least Go code. Control O for go back. Some kind of file browser. There's something that's not nerd tree.
Yeah.
And again, this may even be built in. I may be missing a key binding because right now, if I hit dash, it goes up a line. For some reason,
Yeah.
that's not what I want. I expect that to open a file picker. And if similarly, slash just goes down there. Backslash, yeah. None of the things that I think will open. And I know I could use, what is it? It's like colon, edit, or like E.
Yeah, it's even just E. Yep.
Is that going to work? It didn't do what I expected.
So it opened a new file called man.
Okay, I thought that I thought you were saying the E had some kind of fuzzy search thing.
It does, but in the directory that you're in, which doesn't have anything in it. Oh, but it should have. It has the manifesto. Yeah, I don't know why that just happened. Yeah.
Maybe it opened the manifesto. I wouldn't have been able to tell if it did.
I might also I don't have many plugins, but this might be. There it is. Yeah, there you go.
This is the manifesto.
Yeah,
it just has to have some contents. And then I can Control O and see if that works. Okay, Control O I already have.
Great. Yeah. Okay,
boom.
Cool.
Control O for go back works. So I don't have a good way in here to test go to definition. What have we done? Let's add Not the to-do list yet, but the manifesto. Great. And then we can add the to-do list. Okay, now we've got a nice clean state. I guess what I need is a Go project to mess around with.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make another tab for this, and I think that's not gonna break my sharing. Can you still
Nope,
see?
we're still good. Yep.
Okay. I've got a nice open source code base here. This is a weird main. This is a different main than I thought I was getting into.
Ooh, yeah. Command main, that's not, Yeah, sure.
Okay, look at this main.
Oh
it has
God.
definitions of things.
Ah,
Okay,
oh, ah.
so I've got like parser.add command. That sounds interesting. Let's
Mm-hmm.
see that. Oh, that didn't.
Just
GD
highlighted
does
it.
not do anything.
Yeah, okay.
I definitely don't have that automatically.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I get that, I'm like most of the way to, because the syntax highlighting I want is already here.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I have a language server or whatever. I don't know how to run, like, I probably don't have commands like go format.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm finding something that, oh goodness. Okay. So let's actually take a look now at, can you pull down the Luan's Vim configuration that you want to work off of?
To this machine
Uh-huh.
from the internet using.
Yes.
Well, I guess I'll put it in my workspace.
Uh-huh.
Oh, can you tell me the address? It's like Luan/Vim.
It's lawn/mvim. Yeah. Um, yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's gonna get us main, which may or may not be exactly what you want. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so this is the tag. Right? It's before the deprecation in the README.
Right. Yeah. And so what I'm kind of interested in here is I think that GD going to definition thing is going to be configuration for some kind of language server plugin. I don't 100%.
Yeah,
What
and I
happens if
don't
we
know
just,
how to
yeah.
search Vim key bindings,
What
right? I wish that I
happens?
could do something like,
Yeah.
but that's not real.
What happens if you just add LSP here? Okay, so we've got completion.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, we've got lang.lua. And you see this stuff about key maps? Keyboard.lua.
Yeah.
And I thought that there was something about Go if we keep going down a little bit more.
Keyboard.lua seems like a pretty likely place for key bindings to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it looks like we're using neovim/nvim lsp config as the LSP.
Right, there's like a Lua plugins directory.
Right. Yeah. So here we're getting to the point where we have to make the first like real decision. Well, I guess second after deciding that we're going to use Lua. Do you want to use Packer to manage plugins, so, which is what Luan used to use, or do you want to use lazy, which is what he uses now?
Are these both present as examples in this config, or is Packer in this?
Packer is the one
only?
that's in this config.
And he wanted to switch to lazy, but it was a big breaking change, and so that's maybe what catalyzed the whole thing, or
I
whatever.
suspect that that
What
is
can I see?
involved. Yeah, I'm not sure,
I
but
don't know. I
the
don't have an
yeah.
opinion about this. Are we sure I need a plugin manager to accomplish this goal?
Um, not 100% sure, but yeah, we can see
Yeah.
if we can do it without that. That Neovim nvim LSP config plugin, I'm actually looking at yeah, so this is the official uh oh yeah, and Packer is the one that Neovim uses in its example documentation. So we do need some kind of
Okay.
we do need some kind
Well,
of plugin manager.
it sounds like I'd rather start with Packer because as much you said your research indicates that there's not much difference if you're not trying to do heavyweight stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Documentation advantage wins, right?
Mhm.
Where I'm trying to learn to do basic things. So
Yeah. Okay. So I'm looking up here on my side what it looks like to install or get set up with Packer. Oh my goodness. Um, oh, there's so much stuff that you have to do before. Okay. Right. This is one of the reasons that people don't like Packer is that it involves there's quite a bit of like boilerplate or something, but like let's ag for Packer. Yeah, so this is one of the core things actually that you're looking at right now that makes Luan's Vim like Luan's Vim. Um,
Emacs binding, so useful. Sorry, I was listening to what you were saying, but I'm also looking at this and being like, okay, is there like G prefix G is silent? Go to declaration. So it looks
yeah,
like
here it
maybe
is.
this is the thing now that I've read the syntax a little bit.
Right, yeah.
I don't know what WK is. Do you?
Let me look that up. WK. Oh, I bet that's defined earlier. I bet that that is an
Well,
object or whatever.
yeah, there we
There it
go.
is.
Okay,
Yeah, which key?
require which key. So is that a
Okay.
plugin?
Um, it might be, I suspect actually that that's another file in this directory, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
If only we had a file picker.
If only we had a file picker. Yeah, it's true.
Well, I guess we could also see what's listed in plugins.
Yeah, we were looking for something called which key. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe it is a plugin. Might need to go up a directory to find it if it is a plugin.
Well, I'm surprised because that's not what I meant to do.
Oh yeah, that should have gotten picked up
There's
by.
a hyphen.
Oh, there's a hyphen. Okay. I keep hearing it as which key, like WITCH, which would be a different.
I would totally take that plugin too. Okay, so
Oh
it's
yeah, there it
definitely a
is.
plugin,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So let's take a
There
look
it
at
is in
this.
our plugins.lua.
Let's take a look at this plugins.lua file. Oh yeah, it looks like we do all of the Packer stuff here.
Okay, so is what you're telling me is that there's less stuff if we do lazy? Is that is
It's possible, but then we would have to like figure out how to translate. I guess we could just get the newer version of Luan's Vim. I don't know what
yeah.
Luan is doing these days, but I bet you that Luan is still right and go. Um,
Well, so let's or no. So there's an LVim directory. It's got like, is LSP about, is that the language config server thing? Like you
Yeah,
seem to
it's like
recognize
language
that.
server protocol. This is
Okay.
a
Okay.
general purpose. This is how all IDEs these days do these features.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
So we've got like, and I'm guessing LVim stands for Luan's Vim, and
Mm-hmm.
so config.lua is like requiring that. That's just how he's organizing his packages.
Yeah.
Toolbox.lazy. Well, where is toolbox his constant? It doesn't matter. LVim core local lazy path. Well, so there's still like a significant amount of setup to set up one of these plugin managers.
Yeah. I want to see
Is
that
that
Elvim
just the
core
nature?
plugins
Okay.
Lua. It is a little bit the nature of a plugin manager.
You said core plugins.
Oh gosh. Okay. And then this, I guess,
Sorry,
is
I can stop jumping around and take
yeah,
your
no,
time
no,
if
no.
you need.
I'm not reacting to that. I'm reacting to just like the volume of okay, this does not look like it's easier to figure out.
Right? We've got a nice 245 return all plugins.
Uh-huh.
Check for lieu of it. Vim abolish. Vim fugitive. Vim rhubarb. Oh dear.
So many plugins. Okay.
Okay, so what is the easiest to install plugin manager for Neovim? I'm going to ask Google this question. You can ask ChatGPT.
It might be different for Lua versus oh yeah, okay, this isn't crazy. The actual uh like if I actually just look at the config, oh, it gets crazy pretty fast. Oh, because you can put a lot of you can configure a bunch of stuff about how it loads the plugins in like kind of
So
fine detail.
Vim Plug
That's what I use.
looks really easy to
Yeah,
install.
it
And
is.
both Packer and Pathogen and Vundle and Dane and Volt, and I'm not even seeing lazy on any on this list, so
It's
whatever.
very new. Yeah.
Okay, so that's all very exciting for somebody, but I want something easy to install right now, and I'm willing to like have these problems before solving them.
Okay. Yeah,
So
sure.
let's use Vim Plug. Do you know how to? Can you tell me how to install Vim Plug? Is that going to be easy?
Um, that is going to be relatively easy. It may take a little bit more work because I'm going to have to translate it into Lua. Um, sorry, I'm looking up.
I'm going to
How do I
delete
actually?
this nvim thing because,
Yeah.
well, I guess I'll keep it around for now. We might want to go back and reference it again.
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to need to do to install the plugin is there is this curl or the plugin manager rather is there's this curl command like if you look on the internet and you go to Vim
Boy.
Plug and you scroll down to the Neovim section um
All right.
it'll be one of those things where you're uh executing a
Minimalist
shell
Vim.
script off the internet.
Yeah, like you do.
Yeah.
Neovim.
Oh yeah, I forgot that this is just like really simple. Damn.
Okay,
Okay.
time
Yeah.
to execute some code that I copied and pasted off of GitHub.
Yeah.
Now, I'm so listen to podcasts sometimes. They talk about like, oh man, what illegal thing have you done? And here, they won't. Some people on these won't even admit to having done a crime. And here, I'm gonna just do it.
Is
I've
this
committed a crime right on recorded
is that a
video.
crime?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to
Okay.
jail now if the internet sees.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, I did
Okay.
it.
But it's like
Um,
it's internet jail.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
sort of me at jail, jail for
Okay.
1,000 years.
Jail for 1,000 years. Yeah. So I think now we can add to our init VM the following lines. Yeah. Vim.call, and that's going to be in quotes, lowercase plug hash.
Plug hash symbol
Yeah, just hash
or
symbol. Yeah, hash symbol. Plug hash symbol begin, also lowercase, and then comma after the uh after the um
oh,
yeah, yeah. And then as the second argument to that Vim call, we're going to enter another string which is tilde slash dot config slash nvim slash plugged.
like that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, I suspect we're gonna need another file.
Yeah. So I think that
Since
that
this appears to be a file path.
right. Yeah. So then the next thing we're going to want after that is vim.call plug end.
Sorry, I got distracted by not being able to save with enter. What did you say? We need vim.call again?
Yeah, vim.call plug end.
Oh, wow. Like this?
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. And this is where we start to get into like why
Do
people
we need
don't like.
another argument
No,
for this?
that's just one argument. Yeah, so plug is the ergonomics are a little wonky. But now we can call capital P plug as just a function. And what's a good we wanted what with like Neovim. We want the Neovim LSP config.
Is line 12 like you want it?
Yes.
Like the
Yes.
invocation?
Yes,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah. Oh, we don't need the well, they're optional. They're optional. The squigglies. Oh, sorry. No, 12 should be in between 9 and 10. Yeah, there we go. And then in
Can it be
there,
indented? What are Lua's feelings on indents?
I don't know. Let's find out.
I'm not sure how to get feedback on this thing that we've done.
Yeah.
It's hard to find out.
Probably we could open, yeah.
It didn't like that,
Oh,
but
it
who
doesn't like
knows
that.
why. Well, it was an attempt to call global plug, which was a nil value.
Okay.
Because I've also got it. I'm telling you about paths that aren't real.
Well,
Oh man, I want visual
remove,
select and the ability to visual select copy with uppercase Y to system clipboard,
yep,
and I want um visual select comment uncomment
sure.
toggle. I don't actually. I'll have to like figure out what that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But this is one of those like this is helping me remember the things that I want,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because
So
I'm like,
remove. So let's just confirm that it's not the indents causing that problem.
um, okay, let me confirm that it's not these things causing that problem.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, that
Okay,
worked.
and then
Yeah, and it's capital P for plug.
I'm not sure how I managed to typo that. It was capital before. And now it should fail again because
Uh-huh.
it's just like it was when it was failing. That was strange. Did XX just put me in what? What? Okay, hold on. Two spaces. XX just deletes two things. XX. Okay, I don't know what was going on there. That was
Yep,
weird.
that was weird.
Uh,
All right.
right. What? No, it's this empty thing that doesn't work that's the problem, not the spaces.
Oh, let's try actually putting a command in there.
Sure.
So let's try putting a plugin name. Let's start with uh as a string neovim slash nvim dash lsp config.
Yes.
Yeah. No, the dash d in between nvim and lsp config.
Say that in a more imperative way. What do you want me to add?
Change that slash to a dash. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Let's try that. What?
So, well, so we have this file path
Yeah,
that has
okay.
nothing at it. That doesn't
Uh-huh.
seem like
Okay.
it can
Yeah,
be
I'm
right.
confused then why. Let me go see. Oh, do we not need Oh, maybe we don't need maybe we can just use the default plugin directory. We don't necessarily need that
Oh, is
argument
that's a
actually.
directory?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try something right.
Okay.
Okay. Making that a directory that exists did not help any, which
Okay. So let's just get rid of that argument entirely. Let's just call plug begin.
no, don't be in insert mode. That's all wrong. All wrong.
I have
Okay.
this other thing about like data ders.
It is still real sure that that is a nil value.
Okay. So there's some stuff in my config that I'm just surprised that there's some stuff in my config before that that I'm just a little bit surprised by because
Well, so sorry, go ahead.
it's not mentioned in the actual like Vim plug documentation.
Yeah, so I'm wondering what this GitHub, this is why I shouldn't have just copied off the internet. And instead of going, the jail that I went to for that, I think
Mm-hmm.
might be the last 20 minutes.
Okay.
I'm pulling up what that file that I piped in,
Uh-huh.
from raw GitHub user content is. And
Oh, you have
so
to put this in
this,
the configuration file.
I have to put what in there? I have to, oh, the curl?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, did
Here,
we not read these?
Yeah, I'll just send
Download
you
plug.vim and put it into the autoload directory. Okay,
I'll
I'm
just send
just.
you a link
Oh,
to
okay. So that's what we were curling nominally. Maybe I didn't do this right. Because I'm looking at this thing and it's got a ton of comments and then a bunch of functions and things. So Let me see here. And I closed too many things. History. Pull that back up. Go back a step. Okay. So installation. Download plug.vim and put it in the autoload directory. Which for Neovim, it wants to put something in XDG data home. Oh no, it's just doing a complicated create directory thing. Okay, great. I can just go make sure that this ended up in the right place now that I have
Yeah.
paid attention
I'm
to
also
what I am
asking
typing into my shell. Oh, I'm probably
ChatGPT to write the equivalent code in Lua.
that's horrible. Um, so
So if you want that, let me know.
okay. What is over in .local? No, I guess this would be up one more.
Luckily, the important skill that separates programmers from non-programmers isn't being able to do programming, it's knowing that something is programmable.
I wonder if it will just like fabulate
Oh yeah,
config
no, it makes
languages.
stuff up all the time.
um,
I'm comfortable using it for stuff like this where it's really easy to check whether it's doing what it says it's doing.
share dot local. No, I already am in dot local. I got disoriented. Okay, nvim is what? Okay, that's here. Site, cool. Auto load. That's here. I guess plug.vim is what's supposed to be in there. Yeah, so there's a thing there. We did put it in the right place.
Yeah, and so there's this thing where you have to run some commands in Vim to like tell it where this stuff is, I think. Are you looking at the thing that's like let datadir has nvim standard path data dot site dot whatnot?
No, I'm looking at the
Oh,
installation
I see.
that
Put it in
says download
autoload.
plug.vim and put it in the
Oh,
autoload directory.
okay.
And then for Neovim, it gives this path and vim site
Mm-hmm.
autoload plug.vim. And the curl command that we ran did in
Mm-hmm.
fact put it there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
So I think, huh. What about that auto command vim enter plug install?
when you say that, you reading
Yeah.
stuff off my screen
No,
or
I'm not. I'm reading stuff off of my screen.
okay. What do you want me to do?
Um, well, so I think there's some extra text that I can send you the link to it, actually. Um, or I could do that in the friggin' Zoom. Actually, that might be more reasonable. Oh, I already sent it to you. Yeah, so there's this automatic installation thing, and there's a part where it creates a dir and like gets the GitHub content. And it gets the plug Vim. But then it runs auto command Vim enter plug install star plug install dash dash sync pipe source my vimrc.
Mm.
And I think that that's necessary to get this to work. Um, so there's still a little bit of this like plugin figuring out how to load the plugin thing. So I don't know, like it's up to you whether you want to see if we can do that in Lua script, which we almost certainly can, or if you want to figure out how to do this equivalent thing with another
Yeah,
uh
so I took a different route.
Okay.
I'll send this. You know, we're doing this parallel investigation thing. Here's
Mm-hmm.
the chat, or I put it into the chat
Okay.
the thing
Sure.
that I followed, because right after the install steps on Vim Plug, it says, "Oh, here's some common questions and an FAQ and a tutorial."
Okay.
Okay, cool. The tutorial has setting up. That gets us to this curl step that puts it in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
Vim Plug is distributed as a single Vim script file. All you have to do is put it in the autoload directory. Great. With Vim Plug, you declare the list of plugins you want to use in your Vim configuration file. It's home/.vimrc for ordinary Vim and home.config/nvim/init.vim for Neovim. Okay, we're using init.lua, but otherwise it sounds like these things are strictly equivalent. We just like end up needing to
Sure.
wrap the invocation of the normal Vim config in the Lua for
Mm-hmm.
these decisions that we've made.
Yeah.
The list should start with call plug begin plugin directory, which is,
Right.
I think, that argument that we were
Yeah.
making, and end with call plug end.
Uh-huh.
Plugin directory is a placeholder for Vim Plug's plugin directory. Please do not set it to a directory from runtime path option. Do not set it to the autoload directory where Vim Plug is. So it just needs a directory.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Plugins will be downloaded under the specified directory. So we're going to need that directory back. I think putting it in the repo is fine, whether we
Okay.
ignore it or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I can move that around.
Okay.
Understanding how this piece works is actually very useful to me.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't want to copy a bunch of setup.
Sure.
Because
That's
if it
fair.
starts working without me having understood how it's working, I'm just like right back where I was.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we just call plug with a list of plugins,
Yeah. So you think that
and it should be able to get them.
if we're calling plug begin with a directory that exists, that this will work?
Well, it didn't before, but now that I understand what it's trying to do,
Right.
I think I'm more oriented to have ideas if we try it again.
Okay.
So I'm going to go back into here, and I'm already at the oldest change because I don't have persistent sessions, so I can't just my way back, and I didn't commit anything. Like a fool! I didn't commit anything, right? Oh, maybe I did. Nope, this is all this
Yep.
is not useful.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's fine. I know things are bad. So vim.call plug to begin, and then we got a second one, and it's call plug begin. This is different syntax, but I'm going to assume that it's right because you were copying it from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And this is dot config nvim plugins.
Sure.
So I'm just going to write that. And then Neovim nvim lsp config is, I assume, a valid plugin name. It does appear to be in the same format
Yeah.
as the examples that they have. There's
Mm-hmm.
also one that we could use from their example, which is tpope/vim-sensible. And then we need to call plug end, and these are empty function calls. It looks like vim.call is a pretty straight translation of call, where the first argument is the function to be called, and subsequent ones are passed to it as arguments that would be within the parentheses if it was Vim config, which
Mm-hmm.
is, fine. Like that, I'm comfortable with that on the fly translate. So this
Sure.
is what we had before, and it didn't work before.
Oh, I see what we're missing. I see what we're missing.
So should this be plug or should this be vim.call
That
plug?
uh
And then the second one is
this
an
might work.
argument.
Yeah, this might work.
Input error. Well, that's different.
I can send you the line that we're missing in the Zoom chat.
I'm already at the oldest change because I keep quitting. I really need to change my workflow until I fix this problem. I assume that I can still like. Okay, I remember how things work. I can start suspending and foregrounding instead of quitting all the time.
Yeah, so we need a line on like right after line 8, before line 9, that has that local plug Vim function that I just sent into the chat.
Okay, so it's a variable declaration.
Mm-hmm.
Are there Vim dot? I don't. I'm just copying what you sent me, but I don't understand what I'm looking at.
Yeah, me neither. I guess it's
So it looks like we're declaring a local Lua variable
right.
called uppercase plug, and I'm pretty sure that means that we
We're like
are going to be
looking up a
calling that
Vim function. Yeah.
this way again later.
Yep.
That's still right. I just need a single
Mm-hmm.
quote here. Okay, so what we're looking at here is this is a variable. It's a Vim function. It's called this thing, and I bet this is referencing that thing that I
Yeah.
is auto loaded before. So let's
Mm-hmm.
see if that works now. Damn it! I did quit and then for. Uh, well, that
Hey,
started without a warning.
amazing. Okay.
How could we tell if we have the? Can I like do like plugins? Plugins.
Oh yeah.
Plugs.
It's no, it's I was doing this earlier today and I vaguely remember what it was. You're on the right track. It's just plug status.
Plug space status.
Nah, camel case.
Uppercase P.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Well,
now okay, so welcome to plug. Now we have to run plug install. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
plug.
Yeah, so you have to run plug install every time you change
Vim.
plugins.
That's delightful. I
Yeah.
don't actually really want it to.
Yeah.
So this looks like it's basically wanting to be nerd tree for plugins.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, I can live with that.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna
Okay,
resist making a bunch of really weird plugin related jokes.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
So the LSP config is that. Well, okay, we've reached a commit point regardless.
yeah.
Let's take a look at what we have here. Uh, can we split this? Okay, so this one is add a plugin manager, and then the other one is extend the list. So I'm just going to make separate commits for those.
Yeah, so there's actually, well, I'll let you finish committing.
What else is in here? Oh, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's got stuff in here. Okay. That didn't work the way I thought it was going to. Maybe I don't remember get ignore syntax.
Oh yeah, what
Sorry
was
for
it?
this little
No worries.
sidetrack.
Who's getting
How to
distracted
ignore
by figuring out key
files.
maps?
Wow. Oh no. These are getting like recipes now where they tell a whole giant story
Mm-hmm.
before referencing the thing.
Mm-hmm. For SEO. Google likes it when content is longer.
Oh no, I hate it.
And SEO people
Okay, and then
believe that Google likes it. Do you see why I've started using ChatGPT for stuff?
well,
ChatGPT does sometimes
I'm not going
preamble
to validate your
excessively.
choice. Okay, now why does it still? That's totally how. Maybe it doesn't like the dot slash.
I'm gonna ask
I can't.
ChatGPT.
I'm in a race against this stupid robot. That's ignoring everything under plugins, but that should ignore plugins itself because Git can't see directories. Hey, it worked.
Oh, you beat it. You beat the robot. Ugh. It's still working on it.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I'm curious what the robot comes up with in the end, but
Let me see the getting more again you got. Something different actually. Just plugin slash, no star star. So it sounds like maybe it gave me something that doesn't work.
oh, it probably works. The
Yeah.
star is probably unnecessary at the end.
Yeah.
Uh because you can use that star in the middle of a file path pattern to mean any
Mm,
number of directories. Whereas
mm-hmm.
if it's ignoring the directory called plugins, it doesn't need to also ignore any number of plugins, any number
Yeah.
of paths after it. Um,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
it's
So
probably right.
now we've learned how to use plug with Lua scripts because that's a cool thing to do. Uh,
Uh,
and oh, good.
I just, I want to give the robot its due.
Oh, yeah. You want to see if?
It was like that, right?
Yeah, it was like that. Yep.
And that should just show my get ignore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So it was
I'm
correct.
not going to change it.
No. No.
Well,
No. Doesn't matter.
I am going to change it because it's easier than undoing it.
Mm.
Well, that's not strictly true, but sure. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Good. Yeah.
A lot
Amazing.
of commit messages like that going to exist in the world.
Mm.
That's an intentionally bad commit message for an
Mm.
intentionally bad thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got a plugin and we're trying to get a file server configured. And it looks like the file server, not file server, language server thingy doesn't set key maps. Hilariously, you care about exactly one key map.
Well,
Um,
I'll care about more later.
okay. So we can do the advanced way that Luan is doing it, or we can do
Could we change tax for a moment? Because I want to end with one more victory. We've got like
okay.
some incremental progress, but adding a language server configuration thing
Uh-huh.
um, is like doesn't. I don't
You
think
don't
I have
care.
time to pursue
Okay.
down to continue down that route right now.
Okay.
I just want save on enter.
Yeah. Okay.
That's got to be easy, right? Just a simple key binding to make
Yeah.
enter say do right.
Yeah. Sure. Let's go over into Luan's Vim and see if we can figure out how that behavior gets created.
Okay.
Of enter.
This is probably not the right way to look at it. It's probably better to go into like how does this work? It's like there's a oh, this is the lazy one.
Yeah, we actually probably want the one off the tag. Yeah.
Okay. Um and then there's like I still don't remember what's a. See, I have very bad working memory for these things.
Mm-hmm.
So Lua keyboard sounds right. Save right.
It might just be W. Oh,
Vim schedule
hey, there it
function.
is.
Vim command right dot in. Now I don't know how to get this from one buffer to another. like,
Oh, do you
be-
have them?
because I don't know if I have persistent buffers between sessions, which is another thing that.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm gonna see if I do. I
Uh-huh.
probably don't, but if I launch nvim for my config, right? If I'm like I want
Mm-hmm.
to edit init.lua, and then I'm going to switch to my other window, and this is not a tab, this is,
Right.
or this is not a Vim tab, this is an iTerm tab. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to Command 2 to jump over to this, and I'm going to say save on enter. That's great. And I'm going to visual select and Y did the
Mm-hmm.
yank. Great. And then I'm going to bet this is not shared, that these are fully separate instances that aren't communicating with each other. Command 1 to get back here, and then do a P, and yeah, just the slash that I.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
But
so
you
that
could
didn't work.
translate them through the paste buffer. You could also open them up in the
I'm not
same.
actually really sure how to get it into my paste buffer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's
Um,
because I rely on the config for this. I use visual
oh,
select and then
sure,
capital
sure,
Y.
sure.
So,
Huh.
like, how do you copy
So,
out of Vim
I
to the
think
system?
hilariously selecting it with the mouse will work.
All right, let's see. I suspect I have iTerm config set up that it's gonna.
Is it gonna
Well, let's
yell?
see. Let's see.
Okay.
Visual,
And so
and
then
then I'm
if you
gonna
hit
Command C.
copy,
Looks like
yeah.
you're trying to copy to the pasteboard, but mouse reporting has prevented making a selection. Disable mouse reporting? Yes, temporarily. Command C. And then in here, insert Command V. That did not
No.
work.
Okay. Well, we did get it off of the paste buffer, right? But we didn't get the thing onto the paste buffer. Um, do.
Oh, and now mouse reporting is not working.
Oh, yeah, that got crazy. Okay.
Okay, so I know what I need to do now. No number.
Hmm.
No number. How do I? Is it dashes? God. Set no number. Vim.
That's new number.
Okay, that's
There we
not
go.
Vim's fault.
Yeah, there we
And
go.
then I can copy. See, I was saying I could imagine scenarios where I wanted them off.
Right.
This was the scenario I was imagining.
Uh-huh. This would have been so much. Oh my
What
goodness.
the hell? It brought it back? Okay. So like
Oh, wow.
D
Yeah,
dollar
okay.
sign? No? Okay. D tilde to go to the beginning. Yeah, sure.
It's a little hat.
Oh, is comma not repeat? I thought comma was always repeat. Oh, I just didn't press it right. Okay, this is not this editing technique that I was undertaking. Oh, no,
Ah,
control
too
R for
much.
redo. Okay, all right. I'm just going to use it's this is hard without my thing working the way I expect it to.
So here you can probably do it with visual select and then just like the eye thing, right? Like if you grab all of that. Oh, what?
Which visual control V?
Control
There
V.
we go.
Yeah, sorry. That's the only one that I ever. This is the only thing that I ever use visual select for.
Okay, that's pretty good.
There we go.
I
Okay.
usually use the line mode visual select, and I use
Yeah.
it a fair amount because, yes, Vim has lots of ways to command those lines, but the visual select helps the pair stay welded in
Right.
to
Yeah.
what you're.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so save on enter seems. All right, let's see what he's got here. Now that we've got it somewhere we can, and let's write it
Mm-hmm.
by all means. So the key map set. I don't understand this line. Cool. If API.nvim eval, if it's been modified if it's equal to, if it's like 1 or a buffer type, then return null. I don't understand what this is doing. This appears to be avoiding some kind of problem.
Yep.
Line 20 looks like it's doing what I want.
Mm-hmm. You could try commenting out line 17, 18, and 19 and just... Oh, what?
Attempt to index global API and nil value.
Okay, so there's
Okay,
something from
so,
that file that we didn't copy that we needed to copy.
well,
We can also... Sure. Okay.
I like the slowly indenting comment
Yeah, that's
structure
good.
that has occurred here. I'm just
Good,
going to let
good.
it be.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it worked. Okay.
Maybe? Yeah.
Other test. Damn.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I don't
Well,
know what this does.
you'll probably
So,
find out.
what is happening now? Something strange has happened to. Okay, just undo that whole
You
thing.
should just comment this like prevent a bug, probably. Just leave it
Right,
uncommented.
exactly. Like, this probably prevents some kind of problem. It's commented out as I uncritically copied it, and it doesn't work. Because API isn't
Defined.
bound.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fancy. We're using the word
So
bound.
look at Luan's Vim v1 to figure that out.
Good.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, good, good. Luan will love this. I'm gonna make sure that he finds out about this. All right. Yeah.
Oh, I don't
So
want to add those. No, hold
no,
on.
no, you don't. Yeah. All
Whenever
right.
anyone uses get add -p and then just hits y, hammers y, I'm
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't be doing this. So
No, they need to get
I try and
right.
always add stuff that I don't want in the commit so that we can make sure people are paying attention.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Save on enter. Bam,
Yeah.
did it. Okay, well
Okay.
that's
Yeah. So what did we do here? Let's just take a look, one more look at our init.lua file that we've gotten to here. Yeah, so we wrote
I'll
a
come
Lua
back.
file. Yeah, go ahead.
I removed the empty space. I'm gonna go put it back. I'm trying to manually eliminate a get diff for my own amusement. Okay, look, I made it clean.
Great.
Okay.
Amazing. Yeah, so we've knocked off line 32. Yeah. Yes, we've got a to-do list of the stuff that you want. We figured out how to install plugins in kind of a janky way because we're using a very Vim-oriented plugin manager in Neovim, which is hilarious. Like that's why we had to do all that stuff translating from Vim script into Lua script. But we did get that working, and we were sort of scared of Packer.
Yeah, and I'm trying to understand a little bit at a time. So we
Yeah,
don't have to worry about picking the right thing up front because the things that we learned by installing and understanding this make me more able to understand and deal with the other things.
Yeah, so now we know how to do some basic key mapping, which is one of the core things that you need to be able to do. And we know how to write some Lua script.
We kind of understand this. This vim.schedule function, like, I don't understand the syntax. I got the function. I got the functionality. Actually, I don't understand line 26 at all.
Yeah, so I think...
And what is it even ending? I guess it's ending Vim key map set.
Yeah, so I think that's key mapping n to enter somehow into that function. Yeah, so that's something that we're going to need to. We could do that now or we could do that later.
I pressed N and it said pattern not found lazy. So there's some kind of crazy thing that is broken here that I'll have to clean up later from copying. I should look up a subsequent step that I will do is
Yeah.
looking up how to save on enter
Mm-hmm.
uh, from first principle. I think I'm going to abandon the path of trying to copy anything from Luan's Vim.
Sure. Yeah. Fair. Yeah.
I think that it is maybe useful to understand usage patterns, but
Mm-hmm.
copying from it is
Yeah.
um, not helping, not educating me.
Yeah, but we've figured out how to get plugins in, and we've made some progress in setting key maps. And so now we have like kind of a picture of how to do the things that you know you need to do to get your Vim usable for yourself. Um, and you've got line numbers automatically set.
I've got line numbers and I've got
Very
save on
nice.
enter.
Yeah, sort
And
of.
I can learn about and I've got a to-do list written down, and I have a thing I can iterate on to improve my Vim.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
Do you have any do you have any social media or anything that you want to plug?
No.
Okay. I'm Nat at ruby.social on Mastodon. Good luck finding me on Twitter. It scares me now. And I also have a newsletter at Simpler Machines. That's an R, Simpler machines.com, where you can get my email newsletter, which has got, stuff like this, but it's in text.
Yeah, I'm probably like an an
Mhm.
exper at mastodon.social on Mastodon.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're also both kind of generally on. You're allegedly accessible through the Cloud Foundry Slack.
Oh, I wouldn't. I would not make that allegation.
Okay, okay. You're not on
I,
the Cloud Foundry Slack, but I am on the Cloud Foundry Slack. I think I'm
I
just N Bennett on there.
I go there to look at things when people tell me I need to,
Yeah, okay. I'm N
because
Bennett on the Cloud
Slack does
Foundry
not make
Slack.
it easy to stay signed into all the things I would need to.
But if you want my attention, probably post ask for Vim help in Cappy-fail. Because that's one of the channels that I actually like kind of lurk on. And if you're in this position of trying to extract configuration specifically from Luan's Vim, you're probably on the Cloud Foundry Slack, huh? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, thank you for joining us, and go get your Vim config figured out. Take control of your editor.